Hi there, my name is Dr. Sandra Gilliland, and I'm the professor for the Introduction to Abnormal Psychology class here at LSUA. This class is being offered in a 7-week, 100% online format. The goal of this video is just to let you see who I am, as well as to give you a brief overview of what you can expect from the course. To begin, we'll look at the class Moodle page, which looks like this. As you can see, I've tried to keep the class as organized and simple to follow as possible. For each week, when you come on to the class page, you can click on the week itself, or you can just scroll down to see what's expected of you for that week. So for each week, I've tried to place the week 1 learning objectives and to-do list, which will tell you what's due for each week's assignment, as well as what I'm hoping you'll learn from that particular week. You'll see a PowerPoint guide. These PowerPoints have blank lines in them designed for you to fill in as you're completing your reading. And then you'll also see whatever assignments may be due that week. So for the first week, you're picking your research topic as well as submitting an APA cover page. Week 2, you can see that you're submitting research part 1. Week 4, research part 2. Down at week 6 is part 3. And then in week 7 is your video presentation, as well as some student examples of that presentation. So if we go back up to the top, we can begin by looking at the syllabus. Hopefully you've already had a chance to review this, but as you'll note, the best way to get a hold of me is going to be via email. I am in my office for the designated office hours, but I encourage you to send me an email first and let me know that you'd like to come by. However, that's not required. We will be taking advantage of using academic assistance for this class. By doing so, we're able to extend the enrollment past the typical 25 students. The class will range from anywhere from 60 to 90 students in the class. So by having these academic assistants who help me with the grading, we're able to take on more classes, and best of all, you're able to get your assignments back in a much more timely manner. By the first week of class, you should be getting an email from your academic assistant. The class is divided into groups, and so you may not have the same academic assistant as someone else in the class. If you have a question or concern about the class, the protocol would be to first email your academic assistant. If you are unable to get a response from them, or if they don't know the answer, then they're going to have you email me to get that answer. But we always start with emailing them. The class is going to be using the textbook Abnormal Psychology by Ronald Comer. This is a great text I've been using for about 2 years now, and now we're currently in the 8th edition of it. You are not required to buy a hard copy of the textbook because we are going to be taking advantage of the Launchpad program, which accompanies the text and also includes an electronic version of the textbook. I'm going to show you Launchpad in just a minute, but let's look very briefly at the assignments that are expected for the class. You'll see that each week we will be having a discussion. These discussions are posted in Launchpad. Please take some time to read through the expectations of these discussions so that you can maximize your grade for that assignment. In Launchpad, for each chapter, you'll be completing a learning curve, which is just answering simple questions about the reading that you've done. It's important to note for different chapters, you may have multiple learning curve activities. So for example, chapter 1 has learning curve 1A and 1B. Some of them also have a 1C. So you just need to make sure that you're completing all of the learning curve activities for the chapter. Throughout each chapter, you'll also see video assignments that help you see the material in different ways or give you examples. The videos are usually anywhere from 1.5 minutes to 5 minutes, so they're not long videos, but you need to watch those videos and answer some questions. Again, that takes place in Launchpad. Also in Launchpad, which we're trying for the first time this semester, are these clinical choices. These are case studies where you're going to learn about a case, listen to a clinical interview, and answer questions and complete a differential diagnostic. This is a wonderful opportunity for you to apply some of the information that you're learning, and I'll show you what those look like in Launchpad as well. At the end of each at the end of each week, you'll be taking a topic quiz. These quizzes will cover either 1 to 2 chapters, depending on the topics for that particular week. As you've noticed, there's a major component of the class is your research project. The very first week of class, I've listed a list of psychological disorders, and you are going to pick which disorder that you want to study throughout the class. Please post that information on Moodle as the title of your discussion so that everyone will know which topic has been picked. I do ask that no one picks the same topic within their group. Part 1 of your paper is due during week 2 of the class. As you can see, Saturday of week 2, it's worth 50 points. And it's 4 to 5 pages over the history, symptoms, and prevalency rate of the disorder that you're studying. Part 2 is due during week 4, also due on Saturday. It's also worth 50 points and is a 4 to 5 page paper evaluating 3 different treatment options. Finally, part 3 of the paper is due during week 6. There's not a significant amount of new content that you're asked to produce for the part 3. However, you're now adding your abstract and discussion as well as the edited versions of part 1 and 2 and your works cited page. You'll need a works cited page for part 1 and 2, but we're really going to be looking at it to make sure it's in the correct APA form when we get to part 3. There is a rubric for each of these assignments posted in Moodle under the assignment, so make sure that you look at those before you submit your assignment. Finally, during week 7, you will not have a final exam in this class, but you are asked to produce a video presentation. The presentation is going to look and feel like a public service announcement. So essentially, you will be telling us what the disorder is, how many people are suffering from it, what it looks like to suffer from this disorder, and then what treatments are available to give hope and healing to the person with this disorder. So be as creative as you like, but don't go over 4 minutes on those. As you'll notice, you won't be able to upload your video directly to Moodle because the videos will just be too large. So you will need to publish that on a YouTube account and then publish the link into the Moodle Dropbox. If you have questions on how to do that, we'll be giving you more information, but this is something you're going to want to start thinking about and working on from week 1 if you plan to have it done by the end of the 7 weeks. Again, the information is broken up. You can see the percentage of each of these assignments and what they're worth in the class, as well as my additional policies and information as far as drop dates that change each semester, late work policy, how to get help, things like that. So if you have any questions on the syllabus, please make sure that you reach out and get clarification. I just briefly want to show you what the Launchpad looks like. If you've never used Launchpad before, on Moodle, there's a link that says for first-time users of Launchpad. It'll give you some overview information, has a video in it you can watch. It'll show you how to use it. But as you can see, I've tried to keep this as clean as possible, so I've divided each of the assignments up by week. Week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. As I mentioned before, your discussions are posted here. Please note that this says a due date of the 10th or that Thursday, whatever the Thursday happens to be. However, the original post still needs to be posted on Tuesday, so don't let that due date fool you. That's whenever the whole discussion closes, so that's when your replies are due as well. There's not a way to have 2 due dates on one assignment, so please pay attention. The discussions are always due on Tuesday. The replies are always due on Thursdays. As I mentioned before, you can see for Chapter 1, you've got your Learning Curve 1A, you've got your 1B, and then you have 2 of these video assignments. Some of the videos I've left in there because they're great videos. I encourage you to watch them. They're just not worth any points for our purposes. And then you've got your Topic 1 quiz. The case studies don't start until week 4 as you get into more of the specifics on the disorder, and you can see that those take place as well. If you have any questions as you're going through this material, please make sure that you reach out. I want each of you to be successful and hopefully enjoy the process of learning about abnormal psychology. It's one of my absolutely favorite topics to teach and to learn about. Thank you and good luck.